excited to be here. And I'm so excited today because we're having a chat with SKelly. Hi, SKelly.
Hi, Carly.
I'm so
I'm
excited to be on here. And I'm so excited that we can have a chat. I asked SKelly, I was like, what do you want to share? She's like, well, I've got about 9, 10, 11. I've just got so many healing stories. I'm like, that's so great. But I wanted to start with you sharing your own personal journey. Are you happy to share that with us and the people watching?
I'm really excited about it too. So, my own personal experience with spinal flow, and I know 100% it was spinal flow, is when I was at my first immersive for myself in December of 22. I arrived with asthma. I've had asthma since I was in the third grade, and I was on about $250 US dollars of medical asthma meds a month, and I hated them. I didn't really notice if they did any good. And when I went to Hawaii and we had all those sessions during the immersive, and I had my detoxing and everything, at that heart opening, I felt my whole rib cage just open up and just let go. And I haven't had to have any meds since. And I
That's
can,
amazing.
yeah, and I can do everything. I've gone skiing with my boys during the winter. Winter used to be the worst for me when it was cold. Um, I can hike up hills. I don't even get asthma with allergies. And so I haven't had bronchitis since then. And I just feel so much better.
It's so interesting. And can I explain what you're saying for the people that
Huh?
don't understand our spinal flow language? So in the immersive is a 7-day program that our students that they come on to learn spinal flow. But when we're learning spinal flow, we're practicing on each other. So we're having, 2, 3 sessions a day, and there's something that we call the heart opening. So with every session we're doing is we're creating more flow in the spine, more flow in the nervous system to decrease blockages, create more flow, because what we know is that when there's a blockage in the nervous system, which can interfere with the messages from the brain all the way through the spine, it can create different types of symptoms and disease and illness. And with asthma, you say it's really cute. You say asthma, and I say asthma. Anyway, we know what we're talking about. So with that, what I found in people is that what we call the center gateway, which is the thoracic spine, which is actually here, like your chest area, where the nerves come out to the lungs. Often, if there is a blockage in there, so if there's a, rather than having vertebrae that move, when there's a blockage in there, it can affect the nerves that go to the lungs. So we do this thing, or, we're working with spinal flow, and then when we say the heart opening, it's because we're really focused on the center gateway and the blockages. But once there doesn't have to be blockages in there and the stress is released from the spine and there's not blockages through there, we can get some amazing results. And for you, that was no more asthma, which is excellent.
Yeah, it's a big savings too.
Oh, huge saving, but not just money. I mean, it's quality of life. Like you said, skiing with your boys, which is super important. And when our body's not doing what it needs to do, like nothing works. And it can be that. And also, in that thoracic spine, when there's a blockage in there, like it can affect, what's happening in that area. So I know for sure that a spine without blockages is just a healthier spine. And when we're healthier, we can do more and function better. That's cool, Skelly. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Me too. My other part of my own journey is during the immersive, we took pictures, and I didn't realize how much my tailbone was tucked over and my head was forward. All I knew is that in my life, I wasn't very confident. I was nervous a lot, a little bit higher anxiety type symptoms, probably helicoptering my kids. And after that immersive, my posture changed so much. My tailbone came untucked. You can visually see pictures, and I should send them in. But since then, now we're like a couple of years later, I've just grown so much more confidence. And I really feel like I've peeled back the layers to find my true inner light. And it's just like heart opening as I'm working on my clients today. I'm like, I'm helping them find their inner light and their confidence. And that's what I love about Spinal Flow is just
That's
helping
what
people
I
find
love.
themselves.
And that's what I love about your body because now I'm like your interpreter, Skelly. So when
Oh, go ahead.
It's about the tailbone. So when the tailbone is tucked under and the head's forward, it's like we're in the fight flight. And when the fight flight response and healing doesn't work together. When we're in the fight flight response, the body is saying, there's a tiger there. I need to run. I need to hold. I need to contract. And then everything gets shut down. Life force gets shut down. Life gets shut because we're getting ready to run. So when Skelly's saying that after the 7-day immersive that the tailbone was out and her posture had changed, it's because your body went, and I remember you being at the Hawaii immersive. So your body went from fight, flight into the parasympathetic, which is the healing space for the body to heal, which is incredible. And I love that you said that it was not just the body changing on a photo, because really, who cares about a photo? I care about photos, but your life changed. You became confident, different person. And I'm like, and that's what it's all about, giving life back, which is so incredible.
Yes. Oh, and I have stories about more lives.
Tell me your stories about more lives.
Okay, so as I said, I have a few. So we'll just start with I got a phone call shortly after I got certified from a guy that I knew socially. Our kids did the same things. And I was like, he wants to come in with me. Montana men are known for tough and gruff. He's like 6'4". And I'm like, he wants to try this. And I'm like, okay, here I go. I'm the new confident SKelly. So he came in. He'd been complaining of back pain. He's had most of his life. SI joint pain. His hips couldn't stay in. He's an airplane pilot, so he wasn't even comfortable at work, was having to take time off. He was seeing his chiro every other day. And so he came into me and he goes, I'm willing to give this a try. And I said, okay. I went through the assessment. We got him on the table. I found an access point, and immediately his body started quivering. And he goes, is this normal? And I'm like, just let your body do its thing. Put your thinking brain aside. And so he let his body do its thing. And he got up and he goes, I haven't been this relaxed in like ever. And he's my biggest referrer. I saw him like 2 to 3 times a week for the next couple weeks. And then now he only sees his chiro like once a month. Then he comes to me and sees me a couple times a month for maintenance. It's great. And I don't know how many people have referred to me because he just speaks so highly of it.
How
And
good
no more back pain.
That's so incredible. And, for someone to say they can feel, it's like we're giving people the ability to feel themselves again. Because with stress and busyness and stuckness, it's like we can't even feel or know what this body or what a resting state is. I love
Yes.
that. All right, tell me more.
Okay, I have another male story because I find my males tend to be my biggest referrers. I just love them. When they finally decide to come in and they're going to do it for themselves, I just see so much change with them. So this guy came in. It was a referral from my Facebook post. His girlfriend had been seeing them and said, you might want to give this a try. He does something with his horse, some competitive horse things where they ride real fast, stop, and slide. Well, his back was hurting so bad and he had a competition coming up. So he had severe low back pain. He could hardly stand up. We got him on the table. After the first session, he could get up and he goes, wow, I can actually move and feel my back. And so he came in 2 days later and we did a little bit more assessments and we found that his inner thigh leg wasn't engaging the muscles. And I come from bodywork background. So I said, well, let's try spinal flow again. So we did some more spinal flow. After the second session, his inner thigh muscles were able to turn on again. So when you steer a horse, you press on those inner thigh muscles. He thought his horse was actually going lame. The vet was saying, your horse has an issue. But after he got better, he reported back that his horse had no more issue. It just finally understood his turning signals, his pressure with his legs. And I
Wow.
never worked on the horse. I just worked on the rider. And he's referred so many people now. And now he comes in with his girlfriend. They call it their date night. And I see them about once a week because he just finds it just helps his overall maintenance and mood.
That's so good. Oh, so nice. So what are you saying? Are you saying that there was a blockage through the foundation, which was affecting the muscles on the internal leg. And so when the blockages were decreased from, the sacrum, the foundation, the pelvis, the muscles on the inside of the leg were able to fire again. Is that what's happened there?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And that was great because then his horse could feel what he wanted
Yeah.
the horse to do. And they won the tournament, so that was good too.
But what's more good? That's not English. But what is really interesting to talk about is the foundation gateway in the pelvis, because the foundation gateway in the pelvis, someone I prepared earlier. So the foundation gateway in the pelvis through here, it's such an enormous joint. And we have like, I don't know exactly, but like let's say, we've got like 60-80% of our body weight that comes through this joint. When we take a step, the vibration from the knee, so from the foot to the knee, also comes through here. And that's the area through here, the sacroiliac joint too. But we've got those big chunky nerves through there, like the sciatic nerve, which comes down to, the leg to the foot. But then those nerves innervate every muscles, every I can't speak English, every muscle in the lower leg. So if you're looking at, the inner thigh muscles, hamstrings, you've got, all the quads, all the muscles there. But if there's a muscle that's not contracting or that's not turned on, sometimes we're like rubbing the muscle. But if there's interference and a blockage in the spine from the brain to the pelvis to there, any type of blockage in there can affect the neural pathways. And that's why it's really cool to be able to get that movement and to make sure the spine is out of blockage so the legs can do what they need to do. So
Exactly.
yeah. So that's a really good thing is what I meant to say, but I wanted to explain for people listening, like why and how are the leg muscles, it's like that, the song, like the hips connected to this bone. It's like that, just so people go, brain, nervous system, spine, pelvis, muscles, they're all connected. And with Spinal Flow, we really like to focus on brain and spinal cord because that's the major coordinator of the body. Yay! All right, last story, SKelly, tell me.
Okay, this one's one of my favorites. I've known this woman for 20 some years, and over the years I just kept seeing her getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And that was in my previous life before Spinal Flow. And when I started Spinal Flow, she was one of my first supporters. And she's 76 years old, and we started Spinal Flow, and she would come every few weeks. She wasn't even like, she just wanted to come because she liked it, and saw her relax more. And at her first physical appointment with her doctor after Spinal Flow for so it was about a year after coming to me every couple weeks. Like I said, it wasn't a lot. She grew an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she felt straighter, her clothes fit, and so she just felt like it was that little bit of exercise her body need to support her little muscles in between the vertebrae.
That's so cool. And that's what can happen is, our curves get more compressed, the spine gets more stark, curves start to change. And with that, we can appear to look shorter. And the idea is not saying, don't people start calling SKelly and saying, I want to grow taller. That's not it. The idea is not about, being taller. It's like, how can you have more flexibility in your spine? How can you have less blockages? How can you have curves that are weight bearing and doing what they need? Like that's something that's super important to us with Spinal Flow, because as your posture starts to change, it can stop, the life force and the energy and the healing wisdom that's inside the body do what it needs to do. So that's super cute. I love that. I want to talk to me like I know SKelly quite well, and we've been working on lots of programs together, but you're so passionate about healing. And so do you want to
Yeah.
share with us like that, like what makes you, like what do you love about the body, or why are you so passionate about healing?
I've been passionate about healing since I was a little girl, about 3 years old. My great aunt was the first female chiropractor in Montana.
That's cool.
And back then in the early 1900s, you were also the doctor, and everyone looked up to you. So I always knew I wanted to work with the body. And so I've been studying the body since I was a young girl. And I got into various modalities after high school and trained. And I had a very thriving practice prior to COVID. But when I got stuck at home, I was like, I needed to do some continuing classes. And I love that. And I was also like, I want to get into something that I can meet the demand of my community, because at that time I couldn't see any more people in the day, and I was referring 7 to 10 people out to other practitioners, and it was
Yeah.
frustrating. And so I was like, I want to bring something to the community that has results, that can be affordable, and I'm just a networker. I just love healing. And that's one of my favorite things is I work in groups. And so even now when I work in groups, I just love how the connections between all the clients are that happen naturally and how they lift each other up. So that's when I found you, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I can do to grow with ease as I get older, easier on my body. I can meet the demands of my clients, and I can make it affordable. And also, I just love the groups because I'm kind of busy, and I just love studying the bodies and how they move. And it just keeps me studying more and more and more and just holding that space. Like today, I was in awe again as I'm on an access point, and I was like, this body is so amazing. It's way smarter than me. And I'm just the facilitator of that body, and just educating the client on that's their gift inside coming out. And I love helping people figure out their authentic self, their truth, their love for them body again.
Yay. And I love
Yeah.
that too, because I was also, I did some other stuff before, but I love now that it's like, it's not me. Like your body's intelligent, your body's wise. I'm just going to help you find that wisdom inside your body for your own healing to happen. Now, Skelly, people have been watching that and they're like, she's pretty cool. How do they find you? How do people work with you?
So I primarily have Facebook as my ad. It's Skelly Spinal Flow, and I'm in Billings, Montana. So I do have a Facebook post, and then I just have a phone number. But most of my clients find me through word of mouth.
Yeah. So the ones here that are watching Skelly Spinal Flow on Facebook, they'll message that in and they'll find you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Skelly. Thank you so much for being on here. I love your stories, and we're going to do a lot more and hear all the other stories because I love what you're doing. And I want to thank you for showing up and just being on a journey with me to help people heal. It's awesome.
Sounds great. I love it.